Welcome to another week of One Foot Drive podcast. I'm Mike Szabo, joined as always by Andrew Duvall and Tony Iannone. This week, we're going to recap the Chevron Championship, the Zurich Classic. We're going to talk a little live this week. We're also going to preview the Byron Nelson, the CG Cup coming up. We're going to do our picks. We're going to review the standings, see how we all made out. We got our famous player or pretender segment. We got a little coach's corner, AD weekly, and some fact check. So, gentlemen, we're back for another week. Let's start off with the Chevron Championship, the LPGA, the first major of the year. They had their largest playoff in LPGA major championship history. 5 ladies tied at 7 under.
Really cool.
What's going on? Do you realize
awesome.
7 under was leading after round 1?
Really?
Yes,
I did
it
not
was.
know
7
that.
under was leading after round 1. Yes, I was sitting on the patio talking to a female member that I used to caddy for. She said, "I can't believe they're playing this golf course. 7 under was leading after day 1. This place they're going to tear it up." That score. 5 people shot at the end of the week. What a treat.
Yeah.
What a treat.
Unreal.
Yeah, so that was great TV. I took in the playoff. Playoff was wild. Did either of you guys watch the playoff?
I didn't get to see any of it.
Oh, well, just strap in. Grab your favorite beverage. So this playoff, all right. First of all, you had 2 players, a par 5 over the water. You had 2 players lay up, Duncan and Kim. You had 3 players go for it, Mao, Yin, and Arya. So the 2 players that laid up, Duncan, her third shot, she hit it short, sucked it back off the green almost into the water. Kim hit it 15 feet deep, little 15-footer down the hill. Mao hit it over the green in 2. Arya hit it off the back of the green, and then Yin striped it in there, 10 feet eagle down the hill.
Wow.
So, fast forward, I'll make this quick. Duncan chips, flags it, bogey. Kim, 2-putt, par. Mao chips it down. She was in the rough, chipped it to like 2.5 feet, pin high. Arya was on the back fringe. She putted. She ran it by like, 8, 9 feet. And then Yin. So Yin's up the putt for eagle, downhill for eagle. You got one person in there, 2.5 feet for birdie. She goes full flap. She runs. She might have blacked out and forgot it was downhill. She just, she sends it. She sends it, right? So she's by the hole. Good news is she has uphill coming back.
Nice, thanks, caddy.
That's the only thing. So I don't know where the caddy was on that one. But, so Yin, comebacker for birdie, lipped out. Arya, about the same length putt, lipped out. And then Mao, she nailed it, made the birdie putt, and that was your winner, Mao.
Wow.
What's her last?
Saigo. And she is from Japan. So you got the winner half right. You did have a Japanese player winning.
I did have a half.
You did.
Yo, I just want to
half credit.
Here. My pick only missed 7 fairways all week. Okay? Only missed 7 fairways all week. I'm not sure what happened. She had 124 putts.
Oh my!
124 putts. I'm not sure what was going on.
And she finished +6, tied for 59th.
She did. She shot like 77 the last round.
Yeah, that hurts. So that was an awesome thing. But that was not the most wild thing. You have to go to YouTube and you have to look up the last hole of regulation for Arya.
The chip shot?
She was -8, hit it over the green, into the grandstands, bounced off into the rough, had a little choppy lie. She tried to play a little chunk and run chip shot.
I saw that.
And she got all chip or all chunk and no run. The poor, she just stuck it in the ground. The ball, she's lucky she didn't double or triple hit it. Like on that, when that happens, when the club sticks in the rough, That's like an immediate double hit. Double chip into the water. It could have been tragic. She couldn't even been in the playoff, but she luckily missed the double chip, and she hit it about 3 inches and then hit it down and made bogey. So she had it to 8, and she bogeyed that from that position. I felt so bad, but you got to look at it. They do, and the camera angles. Like when it's a car wreck and they have 38 camera angles, they had it from the side, from above, slow motion, the anguish on the face. I mean, they had it
We
all.
do a coach's corner on it.
Listen,
was
I'm going to say
unbelievable.
this about Coach's Corner. This could have been a Coach's Corner segment because when I saw it, it was a little downhill live.
Yeah.
She had a little reverse tilt.
Yes. Oh,
Spine
yeah.
was behind the
That's
ball.
a killer.
She hit about 2 to 3. She may have hit 5 inches behind the
Oh, at least. Oh,
it
at
was
least.
incredible.
Tony, you got to look it up.
Get that.
You got to look it up. It was there was definitely trying to help it.
We might have to call an audible on Coach's Corner and pull that up.
It was dicey.
Yeah, so that was a classic trying to help it, I would call that one. So
yeah, I agree.
The ladies, great drama. They jumped in the water, and it was nice to see they built a little ramp with steps for them to get out of the pond. So that was nice.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't remember how long ago it was that somebody jumped in and broke an ankle.
Wasn't that a caddy?
Was it a caddy?
I think it was.
A caddy.
I don't know. Or it was a caddy or a.
For sure, it was a caddy.
It was a caddy or a mother.
Mike,
or a family member.
Tell us what it is.
Yeah, somebody did. No, they did.
It was a caddy.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. All right. So what a great event for the ladies. A lot of drama on that first one. If you missed it, check it out on YouTube. Be sure to check in for their next major. I love watching the ladies golf. You can see a lot of stuff happen in the swing. Their short games are amazing. I mean, except for Ari on 18. Other than that,
it's a tough look for the short game.
Yeah, but the rest of it.
If you want to get a good good feel of what rhythm and tempo timing is, watching the ladies play golf, it's phenomenal. So.
It is. It's fantastic. So great showing for the LPGA. On to the Zurich in New Orleans. I was busy watching the ladies. I didn't watch too much of this. Novak stays hot, though. Him and Griffin take it down at -28.
Pounds it, man.
Afterwards as well.
Oh, did they?
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't see anything.
I guess has got some moves, buddy. I saw a little bit. I saw a little.
It's getting down?
I saw a little Instagram segment. It was nice. I mean, the kid's got some moves. I like it.
I'll have to look it up.
Not only on the golf course, he can do it off the golf course. So I like that.
Were they down Bourbon Street or something celebrating?
No, they were right. They have a big winners stuff that goes on afterwards, on the stage, and they do all that stuff. So he was dancing. He was doing his thing.
Hey,
I love it.
I like it.
Can't hate on that. So
no, absolutely not.
My biggest thing with the Zurich was my picks, Ron Thigala, cruise control for me to get the check mark this week, and they bogey 18. Then you have the two heavy favorites who anybody could pick. They birdied 18, so a 2-stroke swing.
Oof.
And Duval gets the check mark for a T12 -22 versus my team of -21. So a 2-stroke swing on 18 for our little weekly pick.
That's the first bad beat I think we've had.
That was a bad beat. I mean, you gotta be kidding.
These guys played 13 through 18 +5 in foursomes for the week. +5, and they lost by 5. I don't even want to hear it's a bad beat. The bad beat was me not getting another check mark for winning.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's a good indication for Ryder Cup. Looks like they're a little rusty. They can't get that alternate shot down. I guess they may not be a Ryder Cup pairing this year, right?
I'm a U.S. fan, so I don't care what the Europeans do.
Yeah. Little props here to Tony. He had the opportunity to take 2 people. He did not. He went with Skins and Taylor on a double down, and he was -19. He was 3 strokes away from sweeping and looking really smart, but it didn't happen. So
I'm pretty sure they shot 1 over the last day too. They actually had a really good shot.
They did
at sweeping, Tony. You had a really good shot at sweeping.
You did.
It's just faders fade. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Liv was in Mexico. I only bring this up because Joaquin Neiman is, he's on
Okay,
a tear.
this is
And
one of the few things I did see a little bit of. Surprisingly, I know, just
nice.
randomly. Have you guys checked out their website?
A little bit. I have the app.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I looked it
actually
up.
pretty dope. You can click on the hole and everything and watch the video. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Every shot, you can watch every shot. And no, I was just gonna say Rahm's putting looks and he's
Is that a good or bad? Oh,
terrible,
oh, okay.
He's just wishing it to the hole, like.
I
And
mean,
he's I always thought he was like
Been
one of the
there.
best putters ever.
Been
Like
there.
that putt he sunk at the US Open at Torrey Pines was just like one of the most
Wow.
amazing putts ever. And he's just out there just whiffing it around. It's sad to see because he looks like he's
Wow.
hitting it good.
I mean, you got to get out more if you think he was one of the best putters ever. I mean, he had his run. Don't get me wrong, but ugh. I don't know.
he's a great ball striker.
I don't
He's a
know
great ball
I don't know if
striker.
he ever
When he
rolled
was
it like
playing,
really good. He
I,
had
I thought
stretches.
I always thought he putted really good around Augusta, and those
Yeah.
are tough places to putt.
I mean, he did win at Augusta, so I mean,
Yeah, he did.
he had to have rolled it at least halfway
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah,
he
he had to look at it for a little bit.
And just
I
to
mean,
make that putt at Torrey Pines, like that's on Poana at the end of the afternoon on a Sunday. Like that's a crazy putt.
yeah, I mean, he kind of
Luck.
plinkoed that shit in, but I mean, what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
that's
I mean,
luck.
I get it.
Did Tiger Plinko his in when he forced the playoff with Rocco?
No, Tiger's
Oh,
amazing.
absolutely.
He didn't plink it in. No,
Oh,
Tiger's amazing.
he rope hooked that putt. It hopped 3 times. 3 times it hooked. He rope hooked it in. Do you know what? For
Amazing.
Liv, the one thing, and he's my boy, this would be 2 events in a row that Mr. DeChambeau in the final round
I was gonna say the same thing.
has not got it done.
He
Went
shot
out.
he
He's
shot like
leading.
even par, right?
He did.
Yeah, he shot
Even par.
Like, I'm gonna
And
tell you right
scores
now,
were
like,
low in
Yes.
that last
let's call a
round.
spade a spade. If you like leaderboards, okay?
Yes.
There was Joaquin Neiman,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bryson, Rahm, Hatton, Smith, and then you've got a couple multiple major winner or Masters winner with Bubba Watson. But I mean, their leaderboards are phenomenal. I understand there's a little bit of diciness with coming from the PGA and all that, but
yeah, they paid
you're
for
talking
him.
about Justin Herbert, okay? European guy. He was a DP World player, did whatever. Shot 10 under the last day. Shot 10 under.
Lucas Herbert.
Is it? Lucas?
Yeah, it's Lucas.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Lucas Herbert.
Lucas.
My bad.
Player or pretender.
Like, is that what we're doing with it? I mean,
No.
these guys were playing at elevation. I totally understand. But Bryson hit like 5 drives over 400 yards. I'm pretty sure Rahm drove like a 400 plus yard par 4. Bryson drove like a 391 par 4. I mean,
Rory was doing the same thing in New Orleans.
Really?
There was a couple of 390 holes that he was like driving up right next to the
Just
green.
cutting corners and stuff.
Yeah,
just at elevation. So he just shit on Bryson last week or a couple weeks ago, and then just does it again this week.
Seems like he might be living rent free in Bryson's head for a couple weeks here.
I like that. Nice live pun.
I like it.
I love to see Bubba with the T7. He's coming back. Let's go.
Played well at Augusta, made the cut. He was top. Was he 15? He was at least top 20 at Augusta.
Did you see some of the shots he hit this week?
No. I go?
Oh man, dude, he hit a couple of he had 200 plus where he was hitting these like little streamer hooks trying to run it up the front.
Awesome.
It was, I mean, obviously the guy's a ball striker, and don't get me wrong, like this is what this guy does. But it's nice to see the guy. He was hurt for a while. He was out with I think it was knee stuff, and he wasn't playing live. They had like an alternate in there with his team and all that stuff. And now he's coming back and he's at least playing some decent golf and trying to just keep his name out there. I appreciate that. I
100%.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But Joaquin Niemann, this guy has 6 wins in the last from 24 to 25. Okay, he's got 5 on the Live and 1 on the Asian Tour. Here's my beef. Okay, he's made buco bucks on the Live Tour. 2024 Masters T22,
Mm-hmm.
T39 at the PGA, T58 at the Open, and then another T29 at the Masters. He got a couple of exemptions into the Masters and all that stuff. At what point do we start to kind of look at do we look at Live where these guys are coming over that were big major contenders? Brooks missed the cut at the Masters this year. At what point do we come back and we're kind of questioning what some of these talking heads were saying on the PGA Tour or on the Golf Channel and all that about the money and not playing enough and not caring enough and all that? You know what I mean? It's kind of a struggle for these guys to come back and play some of the bigger events on the PGA Tour, and it's just they're more of a bust than a bang, What do you think?
What do you think, Mike?
Boy, this is great. I appreciate the dead air, boys.
It was a dead air.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
deferring to Tony. Usually I'm the guy that goes last.
What are we
It's
doing here?
it's 1, 2, 3. It's not 1, 2, 1 back
What
to
are we
3.
doing?
All right. I mean, it's probably something to be said. A 3-round tournament, it just is what it is. It's another 7 or 18 holes is a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of physical energy. It's different, man. And like when I was watching the highlights with the music playing in the background, it's like a pool party there. Like, yeah, dude, of course. Like, it's going to be hard to jump back into this quiet, competitive, like we were talking about last week with meditation and stuff like that. Like that
Do we
must.
think they're actually putting the work in though? Do we think are they actually putting the work in to be back? I mean, Brooks was a big name to be like, oh, he wants to come back to the PGA Tour. He played a bunch of practice rounds with all those guys and all that. Is he trying to come back? Like, are these guys trying to come back, or is it just I got a bunch of money and I'm gonna YOLO?
I think Brooks is like a gamer personally, so he's not getting those reps at all.
I agree with that.
And like, there's just some guys who aren't. It's that you're not gonna get that on the practice range. Like Bryson is such an exception because he's so scientific about his game. So I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I don't think it has to do with the rounds or anything. I think it just majors are hard, and these guys are coming back. They're playing 4 rounds, the 3-4 round. They've been doing it for years. None of these guys are rookies. They know how to get their games ready. They know how to get their games to peak. I think it's just majors are hard. That's where I would leave it. And I would, and then, I mean, Niemann, you gave all his finishes. Guess what he did do? He made the cut in every major.
No, I agree.
And he's in the top 40 of almost everything you said, and he was a couple top 20s. I mean, that's phenomenal. You'd sign up for that at the beginning of the year if you're a journeyman or if you're, trying to fight for your tour card. That's massive FedEx points. That's massive money in your pocket. Those are really great showings. So I think when these live guys, and I get guilty of it too, like for the Masters, I was all geeked up. I, a couple of the little polls that you do for $20 and you're picking players. I, call my team Live Forever, and I pick a live guy in each one. And I think the leaderboard's going to be 9 out of 10 live guys on the final round. And, ooh, the live is coming. And, like, it's great, but you got to remember it's hard. So.
And there's a small percentage of guys coming from live.
Yes.
Over to play the majors.
Correct.
And you're looking for that small percentage to be in the small percentage of who's going to be in the top 10.
Correct.
Or who's going to be putting their name up on trying to contend. So
correct. So what did we have this year? We had in the first major, we had Bryson, Patty Reed, Is there another live guy in the top 10? I mean, Patty was a 3-putt from 4 feet from being in the playoff. Bryson gagged it for a top 7 or 10, whatever he was. I mean, I don't know. That, yeah, like you said, if there's 13 guys that come over, if 10% of them, yeah. So it's just math. They need more players in it.
Yeah, it's a struggle. Yeah, I feel that.
So, all right. You want to get into it? Byron Nelson week? CG Cup?
Love it.
Dude, these guys take it deep here, eh?
Well, they're at
See.
25 under one last year, I think.
23.
Jesus. 23?
Your defending champion is Tyler Pendrith, minus 23. TPC Craig Ranch. So this will be back-to-back TPC courses, I think, right? This is amazing. Par 71, just a touch under 7,600 yards. Just go. Let's go shoot 20-0 on 7,600 yards. That's fun. So,
unreal.
Any thoughts?
I've never done it before. That's like, what? 23 under?
Yeah.
And that's wild to me.
Yeah. No, that's crazy stuff. So these guys are good. I have a little trivia. It's trivia week, boys. I have a little trivia concerning the event. You guys ready for this?
A little Texas trivia?
I haven't got one yet, so yeah, let's fire.
Well, in honor of Byron Nelson, we're going to do a little bit of his stuff.
Okay.
So these should be layups. Maybe not. 1945, how many did Byron win in a row?
8. No, 11. 11.
Yes, 11. Good save.
Thank you.
How many did he win that season?
13.
Tony, any guesses?
I mean, how many tournaments did they play in?
I'll tell you, he played in 30. He played in 30 events in 1945.
Let's go 14.
18. He won 18 of 30 events he teed it up in 1945. His scoring average was 68.33.
Jeez.
All-time leader except for 1 year and one guy. Any guesses who that was?
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, there you go. 2000, Tiger beat him.
Right?
What, like 67 or something? 67.
How come nobody talks about
68.17 or something. He got him by a couple smidgens.
What Byron made for 18. What's the guesses for winning 18 events back in 1945? What?
Man,
like $12,000.
Yeah, I was thinking like 20 grand. Yeah, if that.
Yeah, but back then that might be like 10 million our money now with the inflation, right?
I get it.
All right,
so diversifies, huh?
All right,
jeez.
So this week we're doing most wins again. This player won it 4 times, and I will give you. I got a litany. I'm not letting you off the hook this week. I got a lot of clues. All right, first one. What's going to be the hardest one? All right, how about this one? This gentleman won 8 majors, and he won the Money Tour title 5 times in his career.
8 majors.
4-time winner. That really narrows it down, actually. I shouldn't have given that one right off the bat. That takes it down. That takes it down to like a handful of guys.
I almost want to go back to the well. Was it Faldo?
No. Duvall, give up?
No idea.
All right. This gentleman went to Stanford University. He's a World Golf Hall of Fame member. 39 PGA Tour titles, 70 professional wins. Of his majors, he's won 2 Masters, 1 U.S. Open, 5 Opens, and no PGAs.
He won Opens. 5 Opens, huh?
Sure did.
Tom Watson.
Nice job. Yes, sir, Mr. Watson.
Yes!
Nice job.
Finally.
On his heater, he won it in 75, 78, 79, and 80. That was like his just unbelievable. And a cool thing about Tom Watson, I didn't get to do the trivia fact on this, the clue for you. But he also, if we all remember the heartbreak, I was rooting so hard for him. He led the Open in 2009, and he lost the 4-hole playoff to Stewart Cink. What a bummer, man. What a bummer.
How about
Stewart Cink? You just let the old guy win. Give me a break.
How old was he?
Oh, geez. He was 60s, I thought. That's a good fact check.
Do you know how unlucky, you want to talk about like luck to win majors?
Yes.
The shot he hit in on the 18 that
Yes.
landed it like, have you ever hit a pitch shot where you're trying to land it a foot on the green and it lands on the seam of the fringe in the green and it just darts, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That's literally what happened to Tom Watson in the Open that year. He hit a golf shot at 18 that was so good, and it just took one hop and just darted over the back of the green. And I mean, this guy's been kind of little jittery with the hands with the putter.
He still almost made the putt.
No, 100%. He
Great
runs it by
chip to get it there. I mean, he was in death.
Agreed.
He was in death.
But like, it was unfortunate that it hit that spot and just darted over the green.
No, agreed.
So,
agreed.
Wow, that's actually a good trivia. That's a good trivia right there.
Yeah,
Byron
thanks.
Nelson.
In honor of Byron. So, let's get into our pick recaps. Let's just get this over with right now.
Hey, boys.
Hey. So, Duval took down the LPGA, took down the team event. Tony took down the sponsor long shot. So, our standings.
Not a shock, I took down the ladies.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Our standings for the season: Tony with 3, myself with 4, and AD takes over the top dog spot with 5 wins this season. So, with that being said, we're going to have Andy lead off our picks for the CJ Cup. We're going to do a favorite. We're going to do a pick from the top 50 to 150. You know, somebody like to maybe finish in that top 10, top 20. And then we're going to take a long shot, which is like somebody you're hoping makes the cut, maybe pops up top 40 or something. So, Andy, why don't you go with your favorite first? We'll do favorites, and then we'll rotate through.
So, I'm going to start the week off with Sam Burns. Yeah, Louisiana boy. He honestly hasn't played particularly well in Texas this season, but it's a spot where if you get it going, you just take it deep. He's the type of guy that if he gets it going and the putter's going, he flights his ball well. Some wind out there. That's who I'm going with. So we're gonna start the week off of that.
I like it.
Tony?
I am going to a little T2 from last week with his brother, Rasmus Højgaard. I'm taking this week. So we're playing
Højgaard. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, same kind of deal. He's long, not very straight, but those huge wide fairways.
I love your stuff.
Hey,
the
I'm
important
honest.
part, Tony, does he have food and shelter, though, so he can play well? Does he have
I'm
those?
telling you, I think he's got that covered, Mike.
All right, good.
I don't know what his caddy situation is, though. We'll have to check on that.
I'm trying to get on that bag.
Yeah, slide me on there. But no, he's ranked really high driving distance, not super accurate, but it's really wide fairways. They're looking like they're gonna get some rain Wednesday, so it should play pretty long, soft, and yeah, he's looking good. He's top 20% strokes gained putting, top 70 or top 30% strokes gained approach. So solid, coming off a good performance, couple weeks. So what do you got, Mike? What do you think?
Cool. You can't think of Texas event without considering Jordan Spieth. So he had my attention for a little bit. Knapp, been playing really well. Did well in the team event. He did,
He didn't play well in the two. I looked at him.
Yeah.
He did not play well in Valero and the other Texas event. That was my deterrent. I took the other. Are you taking him?
No, I'm not. My biggest reason is not the form he's in or anything like that. It's that I'm a huge, like when I was growing up, it was Freddie Couples.
Yeah.
And like these announcers saying that, oh, he's like Freddie. He's nowhere even near Freddie. Give me a break. It's just stupid.
He's like 40 mile an hour faster than
I'll never pick Knapp for anything. He's a Freddie imposter. Give me a break. So I lost my lead. I am now in second place. So in order to do that, I'm going world number 1, baby. 2-1
Scotty
favorite.
Scheffler.
I'm
What?
going Scotty. You
Get outta
guys,
here.
you guys not taking
Get
them.
outta
I am.
here.
Oh, I've had to sit here for 3 weeks with you guys taking the favorites, and I'm trying to like pick
Yeah,
somebody.
David Skins out of here.
Scotty, it's booked. All right, it's
Wow.
booked. Duvall, your top 50 to 150 player. What do you got?
Wow.
So I'm actually taking Justin Lauer. Bit of an off season, nothing crazy, but he shot 15 under last year at this same event. Seems like he likes the spot. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with him this week.
Nice. I like it.
What do you got, Tony?
I'm liking Harry Higgs.
Nice.
Just swashbuckling. My guy's got food. He's got shelter. He's ready to go.
Jesus. He's definitely got food, my boy. He's definitely got food.
He's eating.
He's eating.
No, he's playing free, man. He's loose. I like he pounds it. Let's go, Harry. Let's make some putts. Get hot.
Love that. That's a good pick. I like that.
Sweet. In this category, I've been riding it. Cashmere Keith, my boy Gerard. I mean, I'll probably put a little money on both, but for the picks, I'm not going there. I'm going Jesper Svesvin.
Nice.
Number 112 in the world. Bombs it. Absolutely bombs it.
Our picks could have one hell of a long drive contest. That would be fun to watch.
I hope he's accurate, but he's super long.
Who cares if he's accurate? Overrated.
You bang it, buddy.
You got to keep it between
the
stakes at least. You got to keep it on the course.
I don't think there's too many stakes out there.
I don't think there's out of bounds at TPC.
Yeah.
Really?
It's 23 under par. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can hit it in a parking lot and somebody will kick it back in there. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's great. All right, long shot, Duvall. What do you got, long shot?
Pearson Cootie.
You're going to have to help me with that one.
So this kid's a Texas boy. He went to UT. He's got a brother. They both have their running status on like Korn Ferry and the PGA Tour. He's a sponsored exemption this week. Honestly, I'm just kind of going with, he's played a few PGA Tour events this year. He's had some like okay finishes, made some cuts and whatnot. I'm not saying he's gonna just pile up the leaderboard and win, but he's obviously familiar with the area, the weather, the grass, everything that's going on. I feel like this might be a nice week where he gets a sponsored exemption, able to kind of move his way up, maybe grab a couple more either exemptions or a little bit higher up on the exemption list. Might be a good pick to take for, make the cut, maybe top like 30, something like that.
Yep, that's what our long shots are all about. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Tony, what do you got?
For long shot?
That's what we're doing.
Harry Higgs is not my long shot?
No. We just did top 50 to 150 and you took Harry Higgs. Did you mix them up?
I thought that was Rasmus.
No, Rasmus was your favorite.
Oh my God, you guys with your this and this and this.
Jesus.
Harry Higgs is like the longest of the long shots. What do you want from me? I asked you before we started. He's 192 in the world. Is this a long shot enough for you? So, great. Yeah. That's great.
But you got to listen. Like, I queued it up. I was like, we're doing top 150 to 150. Then we got long shots. So we got favorites.
How many people?
You never gave us your favorite. 3. We always do 3. You have a favorite. Somebody you want to win.
This guy is known for taking just 1 or 2 picks and the opportunities of having multiple.
I mean, if you need help.
So what do you need from me right now?
Your favorite to win. Your favorite to win.
Of the favorites.
Just take Scotty.
You can take anybody.
Give me Pendrith to repeat.
What are we doing right now?
He's rattled.
What's that?
He's rattled. All right, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 lines I got to draw on Tony's picks. All right, I got it covered.
Let's everybody take a breath and just maybe meditate for
a
let's or 2 to get our
Tony.
Get our minds
right. I'm a little late on my shelter. Hold on.
hit your mute button real quick and work it out.
Holy shit!
All right, my long shot.
I'll be back.
Yeah, my long shot. Kid's crazy. There's a lot of guys I want to take, like Palmer,
Really?
Ryan Palmer.
That's
Like
a
I
great
mean,
pick out there.
I
Yeah,
love
I agree.
him. Kisner.
Yep.
I always love to take Kisner. I love his interviews. Velo's been playing well, but I think
Ain't no hobby. Buddy.
no. I think I'm gonna go with Bramlett. Another
I like
long
that. I
hitter.
like that. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
in. He was actually in my mid-range picks,
yeah.
but I
So
think he's like 300 or something.
yeah, he's up there. So I'm looking at
Yeah.
Bramlett, make the cut, maybe get a little status back, kind of go from there. So all right, Tony, we're now
Tony,
picking
you good?
guys that wear purple shirts only and are lefties. So who do you got in that category for us? Moving on. We got. Why don't we do the
I
live?
got Gary Gilbert for my purple lefty, right?
Why don't we do the live? They're up in Live, Korea. The first time a live event is in Korea. South Korea, by the way, not North. They are going to South Korea. Jack Nicklaus Golf Club is the course. Danny Lee returns to the city he was born in as a live player. How cool is that?
That's cool.
Yeah. So, any of you ready to pick a live player?
I've got a guy.
Are there
All
any
right.
stipulations I need to know about?
No,
here?
we're just picking one live player. Just one
Okay.
guy.
All
just
right.
one.
But we can't go
Yeah.
off of world golf rankings, that's for sure.
You could.
It could get a little
Yeah.
dicey.
Yeah.
That would be a
Could.
long shot for you.
Yeah, there's still 13 guys with that are actively playing majors, so there's
All right.
rankings.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get mine out of the way.
Yeah, go ahead. Fire.
I'm
What do you got?
gonna go with Lucas Herbert. We mentioned him earlier. Little minus 10 final round.
All right. I like it.
Come on, man.
He just sniped you, didn't he?
He just sniped me hard.
You want
Love
me to
that.
go while you're
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
yeah, go ahead.
All right. So in Live, I don't know if you guys
This guy
saw
doesn't
this.
have
They do this cool thing with their standings. There's the lock zone, the open zone, and the drop zone. Have you ever seen this?
I've not.
It's sort of like if you watch the soccer. I've heard anyway. I'm not a big soccer guy. So lock
like
zone.
delegation?
Yeah. So
Yes, okay.
lock zone is you're locked on the team. Open zone means your team can trade you. You're open to being traded. And drop zone means you're off the team. You're regulated off the tour.
Wow.
And that's how the Live runs their standings to keep these guys motivated and, like you said, not just shipping it in. So I'm going to take somebody from the open zone that would hopefully get into the lock zone. So I'm going to take my boy Patrick Reed this week. He's number 25. He's just one out of the way. So I think going to South Korea, Jack Nicklaus course, he always played Muirfield really well when he was on the PGA Tour. So he was hot at Augusta. Why not? I'll take the hot hand. Mr. Patrick Reed is my pick this week.
I got my second pick.
All right.
I like P. Reed. I like P. Reed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sketchy, but I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? I'm going to go with Tyrrell Hatton.
Love Terrell.
I mean, listen, he's either going to be, actually, honestly, if he's up on the top of the leaderboard, he's more apt, I think, to throw a club
Yes.
than if he's just not. If he's out of it, he's just like, okay, here you go, and he hands it over. If he's on top of the leaderboard and he hits a bad shot, there's gonna be a couple of F-bombs, a couple of beeps here and there, and maybe a club throw. And I'm in for it. I'm in for it. And the kid can play. I mean, the guy can play. Let's call a spade a spade. The guy can play.
Sure.
So
he can. I mean, I like Terrell. I love the club throw. I love the attitude. Not to bore you with another. I was at the PGA volunteering on the range, but when I was up there on Wednesday,
you'll give us another.
But on Wednesday, when everybody's doing their final tune-ups on the range, it's Terrell, Brooks, I'm hanging out, watching these guys hit. And, the youth that are standing around waiting for autographs. Scotty! Ricky! Kids are yelling for players. Terrell, after hitting a couple shots, turns around and says, will somebody take these effing kids and get them the F out of here? I'm trying to get ready for a major. How can I get ready for a major with these kids screaming? And the security guard had to go over and hush the kids.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So other than that,
go with
love Terrell.
You know what? I'm gonna go with somebody. Yeah, no, I'll keep that pick.
Yeah,
I'll
you should keep that
pick.
pick. Yeah, just a little antidote for you.
I appreciate that, Mike.
Hey.
Thanks for just blowing me up at that point. I appreciate it. No biggie.
Oh, yeah, by the way, your pick is a horrible person.
Yeah, a couple guys screaming, kids screaming for an autograph, and yeah. But in fairness to Terrell, there was one kid screaming at Scotty from 300 yards away for a good 30 minutes. So I could see where that would probably grind on him, and it was one of those high pitch before puberty type of yells, you know. So I could see where he'd grind on it a little bit, but you got to be focused on you're 300 yards away, how they have that set up.
What do you think Arnold Palmer would say to him?
Oh my, that would be a treat.
Whoa.
What do you think Patrick Reed would say to him? Yeah, go ahead there, bud. Go ahead, bud. Like, fire away. Let's hear it. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Patrick would be happy that somebody was asking him for an autograph.
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. That's picks. Another good week coming up for the tours. Well, let's get into one of our favorite segments, Playa or Pretender. That's where we're at. Playa or Pretender.
Mike, we're 0 for 2 here, bud.
I know. We got to dig this out. I thought we had it last week. I thought it was good.
First week, I had it. I actually thought I had it first week. Jimmy Longboat or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like
Johnny
Chunker? What was it?
John? Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't even remember. Here, hold on. I think I have it.
That's all right. So
it's all good.
Tony, rip it. All right. Playa or Pretender. The floor is yours.
Let's not live in the past. Let's move on, shall we? All right. So we've got a Texas-style player or pretender here. We're going to run it down. Just to remind our listeners, we're playing the golf version of 2 Truths and a Lie. I give you 3 golfers, and you find the fake. All right? So Mike and Andy are 0 for 2. We're going to see what they got here. So our first golfer number 1, his name is Stephen Bowditch. He's an Australian golfer, plays on PGA Tour and PGA Tour Australia. Born in Newcastle, New South Wales. Had a distinguished amateur career. Includes medalist honors at the 2001 Australian Amateur. Despite shooting a final round 4 over par 76, which was the highest round shot by a winner on tour since 2004. In March 14, Bowditch got his first win on the PGA Tour at the Valero, Texas Open. And he won by a single stroke over Will McKenzie and Daniel Summerhays.
Wait, is that B-O-W?
Yes.
B-O-W. Are you doing this stuff where you change the spelling of the last name and that counts as an...
No,
okay.
No, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Okay. Golfer number 2. Blake Arnett. Born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Grew up in South Hadley. Played golf at the Orchards Golf Club. Played golf at Georgia Tech. Won the 2012 Porter Cup. A little local shout out there. Turned professional after graduating from Georgia Tech in 2014. He has 2 professional wins, the Cutter Creek Classic on the NGA Pro Golf Tour, and Andy's favorite event, the Vermont Open. He added another NGA Golf Tour win July of 14. On August 2nd, 2020, he won the PGA Tour's 5th major, the Barracuda Championship, after he holed a flop shot from the fairway on the par 4 16th for a 5-point eagle and birdied the last for a 1-point victory over Troy Merritt. What's up?
Only to be rivaled
need a
by the
moment?
New Hampshire Open, yeah. Only to be rivaled by the
Yeah,
New
what?
Hampshire Open. The Mass Open. Oh, my.
Bring back some good open memories.
What was that guy's
Wow.
name?
Blake Arnett.
All right. Third guy. Let's go.
All right. Golfer number 3, Blaine Barber. Born in Tallahassee, Florida, played college golf at University of Central Florida and Auburn University. At UCF, he was an All-American in his freshman year, and in 2 years at Auburn, Barber was 2-time All-SEC honoree, named to 2 All-American teams. Barber turned professional in 2012, played the Web.com tours through 2014, picked up his first win in 2014 at the South Georgia Classic, and he finished 16th in the Web.com Tour Finals to earn his PGA Tour card for the 2014-15 season. What do you say, boys? Players or
Okay,
pretenders?
so do me a favor.
Yes,
So
sir.
Blaine Barber.
Yes, sir.
Blaine Barber is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who's 2?
Blake Arnett
And then 1?
is Stephen Bowditch.
It's number 2, Mike. I'm going heavy on number 2.
All right. I'll support you this week. I was leaning
hold on.
I was leaning towards 1.
What's the first name of Bowditch?
Stephen
Bowditch. Yes, that is a real player. If I'm not mistaken, I have a few members that have ties with Stephen Bowditch. I could be wrong, but I feel very confident in the fact that Stephen Bowditch is an Australian. That is there, and Blaine Barber is a guy that I've heard plenty of times name-wise and seen on the leaderboards. I think it's number 2, and now I'm going hard with it.
I don't know. For some reason, I think I heard of number 2 before being at the Orchards. I've heard of the Orchards before. I might lean towards number 1, but if you're super confident, we can't cover 2 of the 3 players. That's not how it works. I'll roll with you this week.
I think it's 2.
I'll roll with you this week. You're very adamant.
Not true.
You're very adamant. I'll roll with you this week. All right. The answer, number 2, is our final.
Final answer, number 2?
Yes.
We got it.
Nailed it, boys.
Yes!
Well done. Congratulations.
Good work, Duval.
Let's go.
Well done, Andy. Well done.
So Stephen Bowditch, I'm pretty sure there was when I worked in Southern California, there was a couple of members there that had ties to Stephen Bowditch, and then Blaine Barber I just knew. I've seen his name down in South Florida and stuff like that for a long time. I think he actually has a brother too. Yeah, okay. I think he has a brother that plays as well. So it's there were 2.
From what I read, he was pretty highly touted as a prospect, and just kind of hasn't.
Barber?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a very good. If I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty good college career, and then tried to get out there, and he had some good finishes, but never really kind of excelled up. Yeah.
You want to hear a great story of him tying in? Okay, so so the way he ties in is shot 65 in opening round of 2018 Byron Nelson, and then just kind of faded away. But at the 2012 Q School, he disqualified himself for
signing a wrong scorecard.
Yes.
Oh, what a treat!
Yes.
That's great.
What a treat! You know what?
You're
you
in
have
good
to
company,
sign for
Andy.
a higher score. What is this guy doing? Sign for a higher one, not a lower one.
Yeah.
That's a rookie move. You have to be a vet.
For
a
sure.
Vet move.
For sure. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, and then Stephen Bowditch, real person. He won the Byron Nelson in 2015, actually.
Tony, I give you a lot of credit. There's some pretty good facts behind all these. I like this.
It's fun. It's fun putting it together.
Nice.
And then so Blake Arnett, do you want to guess who it actually is?
Yes, it sounds very familiar.
Can we get just a quick rundown of the
Orchards, Georgia Tech,
again?
Yeah,
Porter
yeah.
Cup winner.
Born in Springfield, Massachusetts, Orchards Golf Club, Georgia Tech. Won the Porter Cup in 2012. Won.
Brian Harmon.
No.
Oh, he would have been. He
hasn't really had much
He would've been
success
above
on
that.
tour yet. Like I said, he won the Barracuda in 2020.
Wait, Barracuda, the Stableford event? Oh, I know who it is. I can't think of his name. I know who it is though.
He here's one for you. He won the Big Break in 2015, I think it was. Remember that show on Golf Channel?
Oh, I do.
Tony Finau.
No.
No. Is he an Australian?
No, he's American, born in Springfield, Massachusetts.
I have no idea. God,
Richie Wierenski.
Oh my God! You want to hear an interesting fact about him?
Yeah.
My buddy who caddies for Anibon Lahiri on the Live used to caddy for him on the web.com.
Okay.
Or on Corn Ferry. He came out and played the place that I was caddying for. It was me, him, and another buddy. And we played a match. And I hate to say this, but I blew it on 17 and 18, but I had a 4-shot lead on this guy.
Oh.
And I blew it on. I blasted a wedge. I hooked a wedge from 85 yards into the water left. And it cost me a win against a PGA Tour player because he's got PGA Tour status. Yeah. He's won on the Corn Ferry Tour.
The Barracuda is a tour win.
Yeah, I've got a beef with him because he ditched my buddy when he got out onto the tour, which it happens to the caddies. Mike, calm down, buddy. Calm down. I get it.
Sounds like your buddy's better off. He's with Anirban?
He's with Anibon Lahiri on the Live Tour. He's doing great. But Richie, nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy, But yeah, that's an interesting fact right there. Mass. Wow, that brings back some memories, bud.
I always remember him from Big Break because he always, in the one-on-one interviews that they would do, he would wear a Niagara University t-shirt. And I was like, man, did he go to Niagara U? Because that's super close. And I used to play hockey up there. Not for them, but just at the rink. But So he always kind of stuck in my head for that reason.
Yeah, he's still out there, man. He's lingering.
Yeah,
he's lingering
for sure.
I like it.
Good
job,
That's a good
Tony.
Player pretender.
Hey, well done, boys. Well done.
Yeah, good job. We got on the board.
1 for 2. We're back.
Teamwork.
Good
teamwork.
We're back.
All right, let's segue into our next segment, Coach's Corner.
Welcome to this week's edition of Coach's Corner on 1 Foot Drive with your hosts, Mike, Andy, and Tony.
Tony, take it away. What do we got for Coach's Corner this week?
Yeah, so we were gonna talk about a little speed, gaining a little speed. We're coming off winter here in the Northeast. We kind of talked about some things shaking off rust. And I think speed training is one of those that I think a lot of people are starting to get into. It's kind of a buzzword these days. But I played with some juniors the other day at the club, and the one was just saying, and by the way, this was a listener submitted question to our story. So if you have any questions and you want your question be featured on Coach's Corner, make sure you send us a DM. And but anyway, so when I was playing with these juniors, I asked them, we were on the last hole, and I was like, I want both of you guys to hit one more drive and just absolutely, as hard as you can. Who cares where the ball goes, whatever. Just see what happens, right? And the one kid was just like, I don't like swinging it hard because I miss the middle of the face, right? And I don't think I should swing hard. And I said, I agree with you. You're right. But there's a reason your speedometer in your car goes up to like 180, right? And it's the same idea. So if you train yourself to swing fast and your car won't go crazy trying to do 65 on the thruway, it's the same idea. So if you train speed and you get your speed training up to 110, then when you go out onto the golf course and you swing at 105, then that's going to feel really easy and you're going to be able to hit the middle of the face. And it's really, at that age, it's something you got to do. Because if you don't do it when you're growing and your body's growing, it's really hard to get back on track of where speed training can be. Like the stack certification class shows you the graph, and I showed Andy the graph of like what your peak performance would look like if you trained your whole life and if you did not, right? And you can get back up to that graph if you haven't been training like most of us our whole lives to be at that top of the peak performance chart. But you can get yourself up there. It takes a lot more though. When as we get older, it's harder to get back up there. So if you stay there, you learn it young, then it's just that much easier.
So Tony, what's a good if you're talking about, so we have juniors, right? And
Yeah.
you just basically tell them to let it rip. What's a good play for, say, your 30 to 50-year-old player that comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to hit a little bit further." And they're not trying to gas it. They're not trying to do,
Totally.
whatever, but they're trying to get a little extra yardage. What would you say when it comes to the stack system and what you're saying? What would you say would be a good spot?
So when it comes to just regular weekend golfers, I immediately I'm going to try and get them walking more. We got to strengthen the legs immediately. And if we can work in some kind of exercising, whether it's lunges, squats, or anything like that, if the player's looking for speed, that's going to be the quickest way to that. Think about your quads versus your biceps, right? Your quads are like 4 times the size of your biceps. So if you can start to work your lower body in the gym, or like I said, even just walking more, it's naturally going to create more effortless speed, and your top end's going to increase. You're going to feel a lot like speed is a lot easier to create when when your legs and your lower body are the engine. I would say.
Would you would you say that a lot of guys probably have some um the ability to generate some of that speed? They're just not using the legs and the lower body as well as they should be. So
For
like
sure.
not necessarily like, hey, you gotta go work out 3 or 4 days a week on your legs or anything like that. It's like,
No.
what if you were looking at them in a lesson and saying, hey, let's try to use these big legs like they were athletes back in the day, or
Right.
hockey players, lacrosse players, something like that.
Yeah, I think that I I love the feeling of jumping through the swing, right? So if you are unable to create a feeling of jumping through the swing, then you haven't loaded the weight in the proper space, in my opinion. So that's first and foremost, right? So are we loading the backswing properly to be able to explode, push off the ground, right? And so that's what I would look at.
Yeah.
What is yeah, I know that was a swing feel that you've had in the
Yep.
past.
Mhm.
How did that translate for you?
Honestly, I actually felt like I was trying to thin it. That was my thought process when I was, I was fortunate enough to be able to go work with Mike. It's your aunt, correct?
Yes, sir.
I was able to go work with Mike's aunt at Baltusrol, and she had me doing just jumps on the what is it, the force plates.
Yes.
And she was like, hey, when you get halfway down, and I still use this swing thought, when I get halfway down, I'll turn it to the top, and then I'll slowly turn it to the top, and then as I'm coming down, I'll think as I get about 3/4 of the, or like a quarter of the way down to halfway down, I'll start jumping. And my initial thought was, I just want to thin it. That was what it was. So I started to just jump early and hope to God I hit it in the middle of the face of the ball. And to my surprise, that's not what happened. My speed generated. I started to hit it a little bit more in the center of the face because I wasn't using the upper body as much. And I had some back stuff. I had, some lower body issues that was causing me to kind of use a little bit more upper body. But the minute I started to think about, I'm going to feel like in the backswing, my legs bend a little bit more because it was allowing me to like feel the jump as I came through. That's what helped me. So I think that's a nice way to have AMs think about that, or players think about that, pros and AMs,
For sure.
to really feel like almost ski jumping, right? Like you're trying to get through, and like if you were to have somebody come down a slope and be like, hey, you're gonna go up this ramp and you just have to ski jump, like what are you gonna feel? You're gonna kind of turn your body and just like jump.
Right.
And that's what's going to make it work. And that's what helped me. So
and I just want to clarify too, because when you were going and you sent me that video,
yep.
It's not like you were coming off the ground. Like
No,
you're
absolutely
not
not.
Justin Thomasing this foot action. Like
My feet never left the ground.
It's a feeling, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah, just so people, they don't have the visual.
It's more of a feeling of almost like if you were to squat down and then feel like you were going straight up. Like if you were to just try to tap your butt on a chair behind you and then just stand straight up. It's not like I was fully jumping off the ground. It just felt that way because the movement of the golf swing, you kind of turn back and you coil down, and then you try to let it go as you come up. And that was my feeling for that.
Yeah. So a famous TPI version of that is getting in a swivel chair. And then for right-handed golfers, you're going to try and like push yourself away from where you are and spin counterclockwise. So that's the same feeling for listeners. Try that. If you have a swivel chair with wheels, you're going to push away and try and rotate counterclockwise. And that'll give you the sensation. For a lefty, it's going to be the opposite. But yeah, so I hope that makes sense.
What do you think, Mike? How do you feel about that?
That's great stuff. I mean, when I was coming up many, many years ago, none of that was around, or at least if it was, I didn't know about it. So for me, I hit it 265 with it's basically how far my arms can hit it. I know I don't use any legs, barely at all. I know that's a shocker to you both. You both played golf with me before, so I got a
great ass. Ass.
real. It's all just forearm, baby. So I hit it 265 with just my arms. That stuff I could probably learn it someday. Sure. I think that would be really cool. I mean, for me to hit it farther, it's sequencing. You got to get everything in order from the ball back and then coming back right to the ball. Whenever I was coming up, it was the big drill was you would get a club that was heavier and lighter than your gamer. Yeah. So you would sit there and you would take 10 swings as hard as you could with your heavy club. Didn't care where they went. And then you'd take 10 swings with the light one. Then you take 10 with your regular one, and then that was it. And that's where you built the speed as far as like a drill to do, not so much into the technical stuff you guys are talking about. And then the last thing, Tony, I know you recommended walking. I would never recommend walking. I mean, I got budgets to meet. We got cart rentals to sell. There's no way. There's no way I'm recommending anybody walking golf. We have budgets to meet and carts to rent. There's no business walking. Get your exercise off the course, everybody. Get it off
That
the
is
course.
A true professional right there.
Don't worry about getting your exercise on the course. You got to carry your drinks, your speaker, your clubs. You got to have your phone. You need the golf cart. There's a convenience factor to that. So
for sure.
I get it.
So that's where I would be at with that. But good stuff as always, guys. Good Coach's Corner. That's going to segue in us to the AD Weekly. So, Andy, what do you got this week for your weekly updates from the potpourri of tour stuff and just golf world in general?
So I think we touched on a lot of the tours. I think from the LPGA to the Live to everything that's going on. I've got a couple of spots here. I want to start with the 14-year-old Raymond Rebel. This kid's, I don't know if it's his first U.S. Open qualifier, whatever. He rolls out, fires a solid. I believe it was 4 under 68.
Come on.
No, it was 3 under 69.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you know what? I'm gonna double check, but I'm 90% sure it was 3 under 68, and he ends up getting into a playoff with 3 other guys. Yeah, he shoots 69, gets into a playoff with 3 other guys.
Yeah.
Gets to this par 3, 208 yards. Supposedly, from his dad, lips out, almost makes a 1.
Really?
Hits it to 2.5 feet and makes birdie to get into the sectional qualifier. Now,
that's amazing.
This kid, he's only played 1 AJGA event, shot 76, 77. And he finished 4th in his division at the drive, chip, and putt at Augusta National a couple weeks ago. So it's not like this. It's not like.
So what happened? What clicked?
Honestly, it just maybe a little bit of just being around Augusta. Maybe just having a spot in a national open type of situation. That is the drive, chip, and putt. And he felt comfortable enough that he had a couple of opportunities to get in, and he finished 4th. I mean, that's a great showing, right? Like 4th.
It's unbelievable.
In a national open type of situation.
Televised.
Historical place. And he just kind of rolls out, and he felt like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So...
But to go and I'm not discounting that at all, but to go from that to shooting 69 in a U.S. Open qualifier, that's wild.
You want to know what's nice about it? And we've talked about it. There's no cartilage, man.
True.
There's no cartilage.
That's what I was going to say. He just has, he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know what he's doing. He really doesn't. He does, but he doesn't know the moment, the gravity of it. Oh my God, I'm not gonna, I need this paycheck. He's so young, like what you're saying, Andy. He doesn't have the scar tissue. He just rolls out. It's a fun game still. It's still fun.
Yeah. It's a great spot.
He hasn't been in it for 20 years. It's still a fun game.
I mean, what does he hit on a 208-yard par? It's Tennessee. So it's Tennessee in April. Mm-hmm. What's he hit on a 208-yard at 14? What are you hitting on a 208-yard par 3?
Is he one of these freakishly big kids at 14 where he's like 6'1", or is he just a normal 14-year-old like 5'1", 5'2"?
I mean, I put it on the story and Tony came back and said, hey, it looks like you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm a bigger guy, but this kid looked like he was... No. It looked like his family didn't feed him. I mean, like, what are we doing?
So he's your typical young kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he probably ripped a 7-wood in there, maybe a 5-wood.
For sure.
little tailor-made
Hybrid.
7-wood that I got. I love
think
it.
it's
I love
7-wood.
that. Yeah. Almost holds it. I mean, it is what it is. But I thought that was a nice,
I didn't hear
that's a good
about that. That's
story.
awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
That's
cool.
a good story.
We'll have to keep track of him in sectionals.
Yeah,
I
what's
agree.
his name?
Raymond Rebel.
Raymond Rebel.
Nice. All right. Good
Go
job,
get it,
Raymond.
Raymond.
Yes, sir.
And then I was fortunate enough to be able to be on a bag this week for the PGA Club Professional Championship for the first 2 rounds.
Nice.
And we were out at PGA Village, and there's a lot of great players that are out there. This is like the U.S. Open for, Mike, you'd agree. I mean, being a PGA professional, Tony, like this is one of those spots where if you can get in, you do it, right? Like you go down there, you try to figure out a way to get in and do everything. And there's 312 guys that are out there each week, this week. They've got the Golf Channel out there. I mean, this is a full-fledged tour event. It's like they have parking areas. They've got shuttles bringing people in for spectators. It's there's just so many guys out there. It was a great spot to be. We unfortunately aren't playing the weekend, which would be Monday Tuesday and Wednesday. The Wanamaker, we're at PGA Village. Wanamaker course was playing pretty tough. Both golf courses were in great shape. And Mike, I'm not sure. Have you ever been out there?
No, it's one place I've never been yet is the PGA Village. I need to look it up and do it. I now qualify for the Quarter Century Club, so there's a tournament during the PGA show, so I might look that up next year. But no, I've not been out there.
I know, Tony, you were out there with me.
Great facility.
I mean, the place,
top notch.
How great is that whole
it's
spot?
Paradise for golfers, man.
Yeah, and there's, I like it because there's so many opportunities. Guys get to come down and play Winter Series events. They get to come down and play, Mike, like you said, the Quarter Century. There's a pro. There's Stableford stuff. There's all the things that are going on, and it's going to be televised the next couple of days. I'm pretty sure they had a tape delay yesterday. The kid by the name of Tyler Collette, great player. He was, if I'm not mistaken, is out of Red Stick, which is up here in, central South Florida on the East Coast. Michael Block, Mike's best friend, is in second right now. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 11 under is leading and 8 under is in second.
Correct.
And there's just there's a bunch of guys between, and women. I'm pretty sure there's 2 women inside of the top 15 or top 4, or there's 4 women.
There's 5 ladies playing. I don't know where they're finishing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 5 ladies that got into the event.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, there's 2 inside of the top 20, if I'm not mistaken at this point. As we go into this week, it's fun to see these guys grinding, because some of these guys have played golf for a living before. I was fortunate enough to be with a guy who shot 28 under par for 8 rounds at qualifying school back in 2015, 16, 17, somewhere in there, maybe 18, and didn't get status on the PGA Tour or the Korn Ferry Tour for that matter. So you talk about the talent that we have out there. The PGA of America, they're known for making sure the game is growing, and all of these other initiatives when it comes to veterans, when it comes to the disabled facility, or the disabled
veterans
society, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like it's such a great spot to see these guys be able to put their games on national television for people to see And, we talked about nerves. We talked about what it means to them. They get an opportunity. 20 guys get a spot in the PGA Championship. I mean, how great of a week is that? And I was just very happy to be a part of it. And, we're going to be able to watch it on TV the next couple of days. You guys, if Tony, you're level 2 at this point, correct?
Level 2, baby.
You're working on your game. You're grinding to play section events. You're grinding to get better. Let's say in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you get an opportunity to be in that spot as a Class A and play the section stuff. I mean, what would that feeling be to say, oh man, I get to go play an event where I get to play a major championship. You get to go play with Rory. You get to go play with Scotty.
Yeah.
You get to go test yourselves. Whether you think it's good, bad, and different, you get an opportunity to do that. Like what do you think about that?
That's so cool, man. That is the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I can't even fathom it, to be honest with you. Like let alone doing what you did,
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to know that that's a possibility is a really cool thing to have. To not that that's a realistic thing for me, but it's cool that it's a possibility.
It's always there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're constantly grinding. You're looking to get better. You're looking to do certain things. Like it's always an opportunity for you down the road and all that. I mean, I was with a guy 64 years old, and he's been out there 15 plus times. Struggled the first day, came back, shot a solid round the second day. He's going to play the weekend.
Nice.
But I mean, he's 64. Like, what are you, 34? What are you, 33?
33.
Yeah, you're
the
33.
Golden year.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally coming into your prime. Like, that's such a it's a great opportunity for you. I mean, you have a good spot to be able to get there. Mike, you got any picks for the week? I mean, I know Blocky's up there.
Oh yes, my boy Block.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah,
I get it.
This championship, it is our major for our association. It's the flagship event. They also do it for the assistants. So there's an assistants national championship. They also do it for the seniors, senior professional championship, and they really do a nice job. They roll out the red carpet. That's what we do for a living, run tournaments. So they do it first class, right? And these players that are in it, they come from 41 different sections. So for those that don't know much about it, there's 41 PGA sections. There's qualifying. Like this summer, our Western New York section, we will have a qualifier, and we typically send 3 professionals to this the following year. If you're in North Florida, they may send like 21 professionals because they'll have 300 people trying to play. So it depends how many people play your qualifier, how many people go from that section, right? So
I think the Met section has 25 guys that are in there.
Yeah, they have the second most. Florida has the most. Yeah. Met section is second.
Wild, right? That's wild, right? And
no,
Western
it is.
New York gets 3.
Well, it's because we have, I play it in every year, even if I don't. I try, if it fits my schedule, I play it for no other reason than try to bump our numbers up to give the guys that are playing maybe by me playing or a couple other guys playing, that gives us 4 spots instead of 3, right? Until I learn how to jump with my driver, I'll just, I'll go and be I'll be a pot builder and help the numbers, right?
A man for others.
You have to squat and jump at the same time.
Oh, well, that's where I'm out. Squatting left me 10 years ago, so that's where I'm toast. I am toast. I got to wait for the senior when the yardage shortens up. But so this, and like you said, Andy, the top 20 make it to Quail Hollow for the PGA Championship. And for me, I know, here we go again. Mike volunteered at Oak Hill for the PGA, but when you see the guys that make it, it's really cool to say hi, how you doing? It's a sense of pride for me being there as a PGA member to see them within the ropes, that they accomplished something. They get to go play it. A lot of great conversations with him. And my boy Blocky, he was in the bunker. And when he was done, he tried to rake his bunker. And I was like, no, Mike. I got it. Let me rake the bunker. You got to go worry about playing well. And he's like, okay, thanks. So it's.
And he did play well.
He did. So maybe that was, tag Mike Block.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it works.
So anyway.
And let's not throw this back. Mike is a quarter century PGA member this year, correct?
This year. February of this year.
That is a fine feat, my friend.
Thank you.
That is a fine feat. Yeah, it is.
Really.
Yeah. I can't believe they haven't thrown me out by now, but it's great. It's great that I've been able to.
I've worked with you. I'm shocked you're still there too.
It's unbelievable. But I put together some tidbits for you guys. Want to hear some tidbits about the PGA professional?
I love it. I love it.
All right, 68 it started. Hal Frazier was your first winner. We just touched on. There's 5 women playing. There's 12 seniors also playing that have played, and they're playing in the Senior PGA Championship at Congressional in May. So 12 guys have played in the seniors and qualified, and they're playing in Congressional. They're playing down there right now. 56 first-timers, 24 years of age is the youngest playing. Andrew Martin, he's an assistant at Muirfield. And Andre Chi, he's an assistant out at the place that Andy talks fondly about all the time, Deepdale in New York.
Dude, you know what?
Loves that place.
Great fact about Chi.
Yes.
He actually Monday qualified into the Valspar this year.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And if you follow Monday Q, which is a Monday qualifying, they do a bunch of tidbits on all that stuff. They put out his story, and they did a Venmo, they did like a GoFundMe type of thing. And he's
that was him. Nice. I saw that.
He's actually going to have an opportunity to play. He played very well in a couple of minor league events after that. And he's going to have an opportunity to chase, the dream that he has, that a lot of us have had in the golf industry, to be able to play for a living. So, touche to him. Good luck this week.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
And the final little thing, it's not only about playing for pride. These players are playing for $750,000 purse, 66 large to first place. And not only
exemption?
6
6
PGA Tour exemptions within a calendar year.
And let's throw it out here this way. Ben Pollan, who won last year, made the cut at the Cognizant, and he made the cut at Dominican. I'm pretty sure it was Dominican, where Dahmen, had his blip, and at Cognizant, I'm pretty sure he missed in Sony. But yes, he's got a few more events left going as well. So
cool, man.
Yeah, he was a Deepdale guy.
Yes, there you go.
I'm under Derek Kestner, and he's also out at Shooting Star, if I'm not mistaken, or if it's not Shooting Star, it is one of the elite golf clubs out in Montana. So
wow, I did.
Shout out to Ben.
That's awesome. And by you saying the name Kestner,
yep,
Daryl Kestner.
Yes,
he is the oldest participant at 70 years of age playing this week. He's had 31 starts in this PGA Professional Championship, the PPC, and he's qualified for the PGA Championship 11 times.
The guy, I'm going to tell you right now, not only can this guy play, and not only can he teach, he was a very big putting instructor. He had some very interesting and innovative ways of learning how to release the putter head. The dude is a legendary guy. Like, he is just, he's just, top notch, class act. And I mean, obviously he wouldn't be If he wouldn't be at Deepdale. He wouldn't be at the places that he was for as long as he is. But I mean, he's like a Southern boy. He's like a Tennessee or like he's somewhere down there. He's got he's kind of got that like thick accent type of thing, which kind of blows me away that he rolled into Long Island, New York at, a very elite golf club and just kind of made his way. So it just kind of shows, character. Character is a huge deal when it comes to the PGA, and it gets you a lot of places, and networking and just being a great individual when it comes to the golf industry in general. And Daryl is just an absolute class act from head to toe. So I'm glad that he's the oldest guy. I'm glad that he's been there as long as he has, and he was a good dude to me when I was up there. So
cool.
That's a treat.
Well, my last thought on PGA, and then we can move on to fact check, is
which is
the top 20. Like I said, they get to tee it up at Quail Hollow, and they all get a chance to try to be second place because my boy Roy going to be winning at Quail Hollow. So they all get to try for second place with Scotty and all the other guys. So it'll be a good treat for them.
Is that your last? Is that the last part of what we're talking about for the PGA? I love that.
Could be. Do you have anything else?
I love it. I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right.
Nothing.
Fact check.
Nothing. That was written in his notes. Just troll about Andy. Like.
It's right. That. It's right there. Yep, Rory.
He just put. Yeah. He didn't even put anything. He just put troll.
Troll.
He just put troll, and he knew what to do.
Oh, boys. Fact check segment. Gentlemen, do you have any?
Bunch, right?
I got a bunch. So do you guys have any before I start rifling? Yeah, go ahead.
I do.
We had a lot of errors last week.
Yeah, we do.
I feel good about this week so far, but go ahead.
Yeah, number one, Kevin Roy's father was, if I'm not mistaken, was an instructor. He was an AM for a long time, and then he was like an instructor at Bellevue. He was not at Drumlins. But yeah, if I'm not, they were members out there. They were doing the whole deal, but it's not.
So the important part about fact check, is that when you're given your fact check of what you said before, is not to lead off with a bunch of I thinks and maybes. Like you should have checked. You should have checked the fact. I did to verify that it was a fact.
I saw it.
Or else it's going to be 3 weeks in a row, like Scrapple. We're going to be on this for 3 weeks. Well, I was mistaken. I was going off what the Ranger and the starter said, and I was wrong.
So he did. I know that he was teaching his kid, and I know that at Bellevue when he got his status on Champions Tour, that there was some instruction going on. So I will say he may not have been the head pro or director of instruction at Drumlins. He may have been over at Bellevue, but I know that there were members there.
Got it. All right. Any others?
Glad we got that straightened up.
Tony,
Tiger Woods' father was not in
not a Navy SEAL.
Not a Navy SEAL. Yeah. Not a Navy SEAL.
Not a Navy SEAL. Well, what was he, boys? Do you know?
He banged everybody from East Coast to West Coast, so that's always good.
What'd you say? It was a Green Beret?
Yeah, he was a Green Beret in Vietnam.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, Green Beret, Vietnam.
I'm not gonna...
you're not gonna...
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but I think the point remains, okay, of his mental discipline.
Got it. All right.
I get it.
Any other fact checks? No.
All right. You have like 6 more.
Yeah,
right?
I think that was it.
You're all set. All right. So on listening to the playback, we had a mess last week, boys. So Siwoo Kim, his caddy was Manuel Vegas, and he's been his caddy since 2022. That's didn't know that one.
That's brother, right?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Fact check.
Just leave it. Just leave it die.
99% sure.
All right. While I'm going through the rest, use your little Google thing and figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Next one we had Ingrid Lindbog. Did she win the Masters Amateur?
She did not.
She missed the cut in 2023. She finished third in 2024. She finished tied for third in 2021, and she finished tied for second in 2022. So a great record there. A lot of great golf, but she did not win.
Yeah.
Taylor and Skins odds were plus 35,000 to start the event. So that was a little clarification. Oh,
what did I say?
We got
30.
I don't know. You were all over the board.
30.
You thought they were 10 to 1 or something. I don't know.
30. You said 30 to 1.
Yeah. So they were 350 to 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
My God.
Our famous Who Dumped Who, Max or the Caddy.
Oh, this is a big one.
And the quote that I was able to find was Homa said, I mean, it was not my choice, so it sucked. And from what I found through my little bit of research was the caddy wanted to preserve their friendship and stepped aside. Because I think so I think they were a little, Griner's paycheck was going down. Homa was sucking, made an equipment change. I don't know.
And then just jumped and made 400 plus thousand with Justin Thomas. No big deal.
So they're childhood friends. They always said that their friendship would be first.
Yeah,
if there was friction starting to happen, that one of them would walk away, and the caddy.
There wasn't friction. It was that Max wasn't getting enough friction on the club face, and he said, "Yo, I got to go to somebody else that can actually hit it." I mean, that's honestly what was going on.
Could have been.
That's what happened.
Or Griner.
What do you mean could have been?
Or the caddy just got tipped off. There was a train coming down the tracks and decided to hop off before it hit him. Homa couldn't be happy with what's going on, so the caddy just, he jumped the gun on it.
This is here we go, Mike. Okay. All right. I
don't know. Could be. But officially, it was the caddy that did the dumping, if we are keeping track. Going into PGA long drive. I did not have the longest drive of the year stat for you guys. So the longest drive was at the Century, number 6, 444 yards, Jake Knapp. But
of course it is.
But that hole I don't think really counts. There were so many over 400 on that hole. It's kind of ridiculous. That's over at Kapalua.
Isn't that the one that runs down?
Yeah, and it's just like
you can knock it on the
green. One took that guy this week.
No, I did, but he's a Freddie fake, so I did not.
He was the holster pick.
Yeah. So then the guy that has the longest that was not at Century, you had to go like 20 deep to find this, was Jesper Svensson.
Oh.
Of course he did.
406 yards at the Farmers, number 1. That's sea level, boys.
Oh, wow.
That's a bomb.
That dude moves it, eh?
Sprinkler
406. He might hit the cart path. I'm not familiar with number 1 at the Farmers, but
I saw his name when I was looking at the strokes gained driving stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you had mentioned him that nobody took him for sponsors exemption at Zurich. But I had never heard his name before that. But yeah, he's up there in the.
And the last guy that I'll mention that I was a little surprised with, and this guy may have hit 2 yardage markers in a sprinkler head, was Sepp Straka. 404 at Phoenix, number 15.
Cart path.
Has to be cart path, right?
Wait, 15?
I hit it longer than him.
Isn't that the par 5 with the water in front on the back 9 at TPC at Phoenix?
Yeah.
So so he could have tried to cut the corner, a couple cart pass, hit a cactus, and a hop out in the fairway. I don't know.
I mean,
that's deep though.
There's no way
even for desert golf
for Arizona.
Yeah, it is.
That's deep for Arizona.
I thought so too. So those were your long drive guys that I did not have last week. And the last fact check that I had.
You had more? Jesus.
I did. It was a rough show last week. It was a rough show. There could be a whole segment itself.
We're going to have to hire someone.
All right. Tiger Woods blowing out his knee.
Yeah.
You ready for this? It was not a helicopter, although his agent was fumingly adamant that he stopped jumping out of helicopters because he re-aggravated his knee injury multiple times. But he did it in a kill house with the SEALs. He came around the corner, made a left, did not get into what they call a spring stance to secure himself. He then got kicked in the leg and tore his ACL because he was not ready. So that's out of, I know we got a lot of followers now and we're getting big. You know, I think we're over 5. So, like, it's like that information came from Hank Haney's The Big Miss book when Hank was dishing on Tiger. So take that for what it's worth, but that's where it came from.
Has anybody heard from Hank Haney in the last 3 years?
I think he was done doing those celebrity things where he's trying to take 3 celebrities and teach them the move and fix their swing. But that's whenever he had like that Angie Everhart, Charles Barkley, and maybe the Maroon 5 guy. If you remember that show.
Did he fix Charles Barkley? Because if he did, that's...
He did not. No, Charles had a rough time, and
someone fixed him though.
They did. Yeah, he's smooth now. He's in good shape.
I want to know who that was. We should find that out. I'll work on that for next week's fact check.
Here's a fun little tidbit out at the end. My boy Pipes came home from school today, and he goes, "Dad," he goes, "the teacher had 2 categories on the board: jobs that you think are cool and jobs that you would never do." And he's like, so the kids took turns. They went up, and he goes, "Guess what was on the board for jobs that people don't want to do?" And I go, "What?" And he says, "A golf caddy."
I just want to throw it out here.
I'll take it. Give me the bag. Give me the bag.
That's my boy Pipes. He did not do it himself. One of the other kids put it up there. Golf caddy was a non-desirable job. So fun little tidbit that made me laugh before I came on the podcast tonight.
I want to throw it out there.
Yes.
I may be retired. I think I'm retired.
All right. I said
knees
this.
Are sore, my back's sore. You know,
it's a young man's game.
I'm sick of misreading putts. I think I'm done.
You know, that's why less is more sometimes with the caddies. I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Somebody once said the caddy doesn't matter, Andy. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
I got one last thing. Let me see. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to.
Christ.
Let me see if you could zoom in on this. Which way am I going? All right. So in the middle of my heart on the Rory, do you see that?
What does that say? Something.
You got a little. I can't.
Is that P and B?
It's BBB.
BBB.
BBB. I don't know. The Buffalo sports world today caught on fire, and I loved it. My boy, Big Baller Bean.
Yeah, dude.
Went on the talk radio show today on GR and just lit it on fire with a flamethrower. And I loved every minute of it because you get these guys sort of like us. We're just talking, right? We're armchair quarterbacks, armchair GMs.
Right.
And they have opinions about, they got Brandon a little flustered. They were talking about wide receivers and why they didn't draft them. And like, Brandon came on and just lit him on fire. Look it up. It was awesome. He's like, this is not fantasy football. I'd want all pros at every position, but that's not how it works. And he said a part about my favorite part was like, back in 2018, you guys are all bitching because we took Josh Allen and you all want Josh Rosen. How'd that work out? Josh is MVP. You guys are all bitching because you want Rosen. Oh, it was awesome. So, like, his job, like, he's got to let out some steam once in a while. And I think it's great that he did it. And he kind of stood up for himself because, like, everybody on these talk radio shows, they have no idea of what he knows that they don't know. Like, in these drafts and all this scouting, he knows all the guys that are alcoholics, all the guys that might have a little nose candy problem. He knows the guys that can't stop hitting women. He knows the guys that are, so he knows all this stuff. And then when he's skipping people in the draft, people don't know what he knows and other GMs know and other teams know. and they can't say it. They're gonna be like, this dude can't lay off the coke. Like they're not going to put that out and defame the guy, right? But they know that that's not a good fit. So I'm glad that, you know, he can't speak his mind 99% of the time. It's got to be a total PR move, always say the right thing. And I was happy for him today to let some steam out and kind of, you know, blaze him up a little bit. Not that against the GR guys, they do a good job. I listen to them every day on the ride in. They're always entertaining, but you know, they didn't really mean it in the context that Brandon took it, but it was fun the angle that he went with. So I loved it. I don't know, Tony, you heard it. Andy, you got to look it up. You were
I gotta
looping.
look this up.
Yeah,
I
you were
heard. I didn't
caddying.
hear it. I heard about it. People were talking about it. But no, yeah, that's great. I hope they take that attitude when they actually get into the game because, jeez.
Yeah, and his biggest point was like, you're screaming for a wide receiver. The defense is what we needed to fix.
Right.
We scored over 31 points 8 games in a row last year. We averaged over 30 points for the season. A receiver, and we already upgraded our receiver. You know, they got Palmer and they got a couple other guys. They might look to add another guy. That's what he does great. He picks up these veterans who still got life in them for cheap, and they plug them in. And you know, the philosophy they did last year, it worked. So I'm sure they're going to come back to it. But yeah, it was fun to see. I loved it.
Good
myself.
For him.
Yeah,
for sure.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, you need to. It's a good listen.
Somebody letting off. Yeah, I'm all for somebody letting off whatever they got.
It's nice to see people in that position being honest, like you said, Mike. So rarely.
That's the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
That's really the hardest part. And you know, I think I have to get better at that. So
don't we all?
I mean, I like to just kind of say what it is, and I think sometimes you just kick yourself in the ass afterwards. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's another great week.
Yes, sir.
1 Foot Drive. Gentlemen, it's been a treat. Have a good night, gents. Until next week.
How many do you want? Cheers.
Cheers!
Let me get one in, for Christ's sake. Jesus. Guys, what a treat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But even on my best day